don't judge me. To say that drinking is part of cruising would be like saying popcorn is part of going to the movies. Step on the ship and you'll find bars everywhere and in all different styles. Whether you're the sort of person that just wants a cold Bud Light by the pool, or you like those high-end cocktails that maybe you've never tried before, you'll find something for you on the ship. There's also the opportunity to let loose a little and try some things that you normally wouldn't drink back home. Case in point, on a recent cruise, I decided it would be fun to try to hunt down and try the absolute most expensive drink on the ship. The result, a drink that I definitely didn't expect, but that led to a very enjoyable afternoon. Here's what happened. On this cruise, I sailed aboard Carnival Vista. Now, Vista has a number of bars that are well known across other ships in the fleet. This includes the Red Frog Rum Bar, the Blue Iguana Tequila Bar, Alchemy Bar, the Red Frog Pub, Havana Bar, the Atrium Bar, and a lot more. After the health crisis paused cruising, one of the changes implemented is now menus in the restaurants and the bars are no longer available like they used to be. Instead of just walking up and grabbing a menu, you now have to use your phone. Each place you visit will have a QR code that you scan with your phone to bring up a menu. So, over the course of a couple of days, I visited each bar around the ship, scanning the codes to pull up the menu and to figure out who had the priciest drink. Now, as you might expect, the menus and the prices are fairly consistent around the ship. Yeah, different bars often serve different drinks, but the price points, they're usually in the same ballpark. The most expensive drinks at each bar typically run around $10 or $11 for a cocktail. There were some finds here and there that were slightly more expensive, including high-end shots, but then I scanned the menu of the Red Frog Pub. The Red Frog Pub, it is a bit hidden on Carnival Vista. While the Red Frog Rum Bar is on the pool deck and easy to find, the Red Frog Pub is on deck 5. The entrance area is relatively small with only a few tables. But walk past the first tables and then you see that this pub is not some tiny spot. It extends back and then around the side of the ship. Inside there are booths, an entire wraparound bar, high top tables, and even games to play. There's also an outdoor seating area. It turns out that it's one of the largest bars on the ship, but has some of the least visible real estate. Now, scanning the menu, the prices and drinks look similar to what's found at other bars, until I got to the fish bowls. With cocktails at the pub, you can get them as traditional drinks in single servings, or you can get them as a fish bowl. These drinks, they're served in extra large in a huge glass that you can take home with you. They run a bit more expensive, $34.95 for the drink and the glass it comes in, with refills being $19.95. Having already checked the menus of other bars around the ship, I knew that this was the most expensive drink I was going to find. What I hadn't counted on was that the most expensive drink would also end up being the largest. When I first found the fish bowl from Red Frog Pub, it was early in the morning during a day at sea, and the bar wasn't serving yet. After heading back to the cabin, I told my wife what I found and that I planned to go back and have the drink later on during the day. She thought it sounded like a good idea, but told me to wait a second while she grabbed her phone. There, she opened up the Carnival Hub app and flipped through the daily schedules for the upcoming days. She then showed me a way to get the most expensive drink for cheaper. It turns out that the Red Frog Pub has happy hours some days of the cruise when drinks are half priced. But to get the deal, we had to wait another couple of days. Happy hour ran from 2:30 to 4:30 during the afternoon the ship stopped in Belize, which was day 5 of the cruise. So after waiting a couple of days, my wife and I headed into the Red Frog Pub. With the fish bowl, you get your choice of cocktail. The offers range from mojitos to painkillers to Blue Bahamas and more. Just about all of them are rum-based, however. For my drink, I ordered the Red Frog Tropical Hurricane. According to the menu, the drink is a tropical mix of Mount Gay Eclipse rum, Bacardi spiced rum, exotic juices, and soda. So for my Hurricane, I got the actual drink for half off, but the souvenir glass was still full priced. I ended up paying $10 for the drink and $14.95 for the glass. The total came out to $24.95, and with gratuity, it ended up at $29.44. So the most expensive drink on the ship ran about $30 all in. Now, carrying the drink outside to the table felt a bit silly. You literally do feel like you're carrying a fishbowl. The drink was massive and filled to the brim. The last thing I wanted to do was accidentally bump into someone and spill the thing. After safely navigating to the table, it was time to dive in. Now, truth be told, I am not a huge drinker, so I did enlist the help of my wife to tackle the fishbowl. Oddly enough, finding a straw for this drink was difficult. A couple next to me at the bar, they had these 2 huge plastic straws and the bartender was charging them for them. Instead, I just grabbed a couple of regular straws in a green package from the bar rather than pay that extra cash. What I didn't realize until I opened them is that these weren't regular straws at all. Instead, they were edible straws, and more on that in a moment. Diving in, we both took our first taste of the Hurricane Fishbowl, and the verdict is that it was unbelievably sweet. The taste of pineapple juice was so strong, and the first sip tasted like pure sugar. In fact, I was not sure how we'd be able to finish the whole drink given how sweet it was. Even so, we soldiered on, kept at it, and the sweetness did eventually subside some. Or maybe we just got used to it. One thing I did notice is that while there was plenty of alcohol, it wasn't a terribly strong drink. I could definitely feel it, but even though I'm not a big drinker, sharing a fishbowl was no big deal. It's enough to loosen me up in the shoulders, but not enough to make me tipsy. As mentioned, happy hour was during port day in Belize, so we enjoyed the drink sitting out on the deck of the ship, surrounded by gorgeous blue water. It is definitely hard to beat that atmosphere. Now, the more we drank and the ice melted, the less the sweetness bothered us, and while we did feel relaxed from the alcohol, it was never enough to make us feel too loose. I mean, all of our clothing stayed on. What was a pain was those edible straws. On a normal drink, I'm sure they work fine, but drinking the fishbowl took about half an hour. During that time, the edible straws slowly softened to the point to where when you pulled it out of the drink and held it up, it would begin to droop. Eventually, my straw just broke altogether, so I was left with half a straw in the fishbowl and just ate the other half. Now, I've never eaten a straw before, but it was actually delicious. It tasted like lime candy, so as a dessert, the straw was great. As a straw, not so much. With no straw, that meant taking gulps instead of sips to get this fishbowl finished. All told, I'd estimate the fishbowl holds 3 to 4 normal drinks. At a price of $30, that wasn't a bad deal at happy hour. It would only be $10 at happy hour for a refill, making it a fantastic deal. But the drink actually got better as time went on and the ice melted, which did cut the sweetness. But after just one, we had way too much sugar for one day. It could definitely have been a stronger drink, but I did notice that I felt things a whole lot more after getting up from the table and walking back to the cabin. Again, it wasn't enough to put me under, but I definitely felt the drink way more than I had sitting down. All told, the most expensive and the biggest drink on the cruise ship was a fun way to spend a gorgeous afternoon. We hung out, we talked, we played cards, and generally just enjoyed taking a break from the day-to-day to relax on vacation. Considering you could easily spend the same amount in the same time in a dark casino, spending the day having a drink while taking in gorgeous views was definitely worth it.